Alright guys, about to play round one of a Battle for Zendikar draft. We built a black-white deck. It's kind of a life gain deck. We have one Class Night Watch and one of the 4/3/3 Vampire that gets bigger every time you gain life. And a lot of ways to gain life. And that is an awful hand, just god-awful. Luckily our opponent also mulliganed, but we will be as well. And this is okay. We don't have white, but I think I keep. We get to scry after all. And we have a 2-drop. I think I put this on the bottom. We really want to draw as a plains. And we did it. Yay for scrying. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. We would have gotten it eventually anyway, and then we would have also had the 2/3, but I wanted to ensure we got the plains we needed. And now we got 2 of them, so we will play our culling drone, which doesn't really have any good synergies in our deck, except for that our deck has 4 combat tricks in it, and we wanted to have as many early drops as possible to take advantage of them. And Touch of the Void there doesn't really upset us, so works for me. Does leave us without a play for a while, though, for now, even though we have like a pretty low curve for this format, lots of 2s and 3s. We didn't manage to get all of them, although we put one on the bottom of our library, so there you go. See if this is something we can complete disregard, and it is, and we will, because that thing's a huge problem. So much better than it looks. We have one of those as well, but we'll take care of that. Hey, we drew ours. How about that? Now we will play ours. Our opponent probably in more of a red-black synergy, colorless kind of deck. So that's good to keep in mind. See if he plays another Silent Skimmer. Nope. Kozilek Sentinel, pretty good. Courier Griffin, also pretty good. So we're going to swing in there with our Silent Skimmer and drop him to 18. And we're going to play a 2/3 flyer and gain some life. If I get to 5 lands, I'm trying to decide what I would rather play, the Stalker or the Channeler. The Stalker can really lead to some blowouts, especially when you have tandem tactics. And we're not in desperate need of more mana, so Titan's Presence. Okay, well, that'll work. Dominator drones in our opponent's hand as well, which we now know. And we will take 2. Stonehaven Medic, a pretty good blocker right now. And we will play it. Drop our opponent to 16. Play out our Medic. Having tandem tactics means we can also take down like the Dominator drone with our Stonehaven Medic, so if that's what he's playing right now, for example, we're okay with it, I think. It'll drop us to 18 because he controls a colorless creature, but it's not a huge deal. Ooh, he's Molten Nurserying up. I've never really seen that work out. We'll see if our opponent can make it happen. So, yeah, I would have blocked if he swung because there's not really. He would have had to have a trick, not just like any old colorless card. So, right now I think we play Drana's Emissary, but first we swing with our Silent Skimmer. Take our opponent down to 14. These things are just. They just, skim your opponent's lives away. We're going to leave 1 mana up so we can gain a life, and we'll play our Emissary and end our turn. We're not able to draw a 5th land, but we keep drawing cards we can play anyway, so we haven't quite run into a problem. All right. He's probably playing Dominator Drone here. We know he has that in his hand. So you would expect that. One would anyway. He's down to 2 cards, and I am liking the way the board looks. We know he has 1 Dominator drone in his hand. We don't know what the other card is, but the Dominator drone isn't the biggest concern. And there it is. He does get to do 3 to us now if he wants to, but we're going to be gaining life at a pretty good rate here. So He may have like Touch of the Void. Now he's doing the one to us. I was going to say, may have Touch of the Void, do one here, and then Touch of the Void our Skimmer, which would be a good play, but his hand would then be empty too. We're going to gain one of that back. And then at our upkeep, we are going to take one of his life and gain one. And there's a Blood Bond Vampire who's pretty awesome right now. I think we just swing in the air. Drop him to 9. And we put this Blood Bond Vampire out there on the ground. And he has to deal with it pretty quickly before it becomes a huge problem. We have Tandem Tactics, Stonehaven Medic, and Drawn as Emissary. So gaining life is pretty huge for us right now. If he swings here, I would just block the Sentinel and let him ingest something. Black doesn't have super scary ingesters, except for one rare one, Wasteland Strangler. And that would be annoying. But I think I just let it happen. Although, yeah, I'm just going to let it happen. If he has Wasteland Strangler, then I think we're still okay. There's also Processor Assault, I guess, which red has, but you know, his hand would be empty then, and we'd still have a bunch of creatures who are like dominating the board. So our Blood Bond Vampire gets a bit bigger here. And we finally drew a 5th land too. How about that? I think we go ahead and swing with the Blood Bond Vampire, Drana, and the silent Drana's Emissary. It's not Drana. I wish it was Drana. But the Drana's Emissary is also very good, especially in our deck where we have stuff like Blood Bond Vampire. So we'll swing with everything. And we can use Tandem Tactics if we need to here. See what our opponent does. 5 mana. Grip of Desolation. Oh, don't turn against. Turn against. That is annoying. He can kill our Drana's Emissary at least with it. I can use Tandem Tactics to save my dude at least, but yeah. Okay, good to keep in mind that he has turn against. He did 1 to that, so he's going to try to block and kill this, but we'll be able to pump it up with Tandem Tactics enough that it won't matter, and we'll do additional damage in the air as well, so we can also pump it with Stonehaven Medic, so we're not hurting a whole lot. All right, so did he just decide not to block? Oh no, we're not at blocks yet. That was just the 2 damage from the Skimmer. So he's going to throw 2 things in front of that, and we can go Tandem Tactics, which will make it a big enough to kill both of them. Unfortunately, one of them that we'll be killing is our own dude, but I think that's okay. So yeah, we'll assign it like that. And then we'll go... I could save my own dude with Tandem Tactics, I guess, but I don't think that's the play here. I think we just go like this. Get in for a bit more damage. Kill both of these. Again, one of them is ours. Take him down to 5. Leaves us with a huge creature. And all he has left is a 3/2. So we're going to end our turn there. Hard to imagine something he could draw that could save him. Processor Assault could kill this, but we can make it bigger in response. Grip of Desolation would be pretty good. Kozilek's Channeler not bad either, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save him. It'll buy him some time though. Yeah, Molten Nursery is really bad against us because we have so many incidental ways to gain life. So yeah, so we're going to gain a life. One of our incidental ways of doing so. Pumps our guy up to a 6/6. Now we have Gideon's Reproach too, which is pretty nice. I think we swing with both of these and be ready to use Gideon's Reproach if we need to, but yeah, if he blocks, I guess I'll need to. But it'll blow him out and we'll be pretty happy. Just single block? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so we'll assign blocking damage like that. And then we'll go Gideon's Reproach, that. And kill the other thing, and be pretty hard for him to come back now. He's got something, though. Next game, I need to be more careful about playing around turn against. Like when we know he has it, it's best to swing with like different things. Like if we just swung with our silent skimmer there, he couldn't have like tried to hurt us as bad. Um, but we were definitely on the beatdown in that game, and our opponent was not. So I think that was the right move. I don't think we have anything to side in. Our opponent's not hyper aggressive, so we don't need our rampart. And Mindbreaker doesn't seem great. Altar's Reap is, like I said earlier, it's best not in a deck like this where you have a lot of tokens, but it's good against some opponents who have a ton of removal. But this opponent doesn't seem to. So we'll just roll with this again. Our life gain synergies did come up in that game pretty big. So that was nice. And we're in a good matchup because he may even side out Molten Nursery against us, I guess. We also have Felidar Cub to deal with it if we need to. And I think this is a keep. We got our Blood Bond Vampire again, and we have an early way to gain life, and we have our Silent Skimmer again. So it's all looking pretty good. I think I just play Mortuary Mire here. There's some chance it would be nice to play it later, but most of the time it's better to have that mana available. I think I probably play Culling Drone here. Yeah, I mean, honestly now Stonehaven Medic's a better blocker, so maybe I play that instead. But I think I just play Culling Drone. Next turn I can play the Stonehaven Medic. Like if he swings here, I'll just take 2, you know, if he plays a colorless spell or whatever. And then, you know, we'll play Stonehaven Medic. Then probably Blood Bond Vampire. Okay, Touch of the Void. That's what he did early game last time against that dude. And he did it again. Should we use Sheer Drop? That's the question. You know, it's not a bad idea. We're not going to really be advancing the board a whole lot. But it is like our only removal right now. So I think I'd like to sort of keep it for later. And we can play a decent blocker here in Stonehaven Medic, which can block Kozilek's Channeler pretty well. Or not Channeler, Predator. Not Predator either. Sentinel. Lots of Kozilek things. He got the Smoldering Marsh we passed, so that's nice for him. Okay. Here comes the Molten Nursery. We're not too concerned about it at this point. All right. I think for now, I feel okay playing Silent Skimmer instead of the Blood Bond Vampire. I'd like to be able to gain the life that we need to gain in the event that he has another way to do 3 damage, which there are a few of, like Touch of the Void in this format. So I'm going to play the Skimmer for now. Yeah, we didn't see blue at all last game, I just realized. He must be splashing blue, and black is his like primary, secondary color. Although, yeah, red, black. We saw lots of black in the last game and no blue. He may have that Ruination Guide who pumps everything, stuff like that. Part of the reason I was sort of considering using Sheer Drop is because once we sort of stabilize, once we're ahead on the board, we're just never going to get a chance to use it. But if we're ahead on the board, you know, I think we're happy overall anyway, so I think it's okay. So I think we play our Blood Bond Vampire now. First we're going to swing. This thing did a lot of work last game. Did most of it, actually. And then we had big creatures come down late to finish the job. So we want to leave 1 wide up, and we'll play our Blood Bond Vampire. And we'll be ready to use Stonehaven Medic to pump him up if necessary. Have Sheer Drop ready to go if we ever end up behind, and we'll be able to awaken it, which is a pretty big swing. So it's nice to have that even if we never get to cast it, which happens to me more often than not with Sheer Drop. It's definitely better in a more controlling deck just because you actually get a chance to use it. But like I said, if you're not in a position to use Sheer Drop, it usually means you're winning the game. So I guess you can't complain too much. If he swings here, I just take it. Yeah, he's not going to anyway. Okay, it's interesting. He probably has removal, but we're gaining life. We would be gaining it anyway. So yeah, he's probably going to take out something here. Titan's Presence. Ulamog's Nullifier. Good to know he has that. That'll be the second thing we end up with in exile. So Ulamog's Nullifier will be capable. What's he going to exile, though? Or Silent Skimmer? Ulamog's Nullifier only has 2 power, right? Yeah. Oh, no, he's going for that. That is interesting. Not what I would have done. He doesn't have Nullifier mana right now, so that's good. He decided to splash to make Nullifier work in his deck, which is not a bad idea. So especially because he also had Smoldering Marsh. So we're going to swing with both these things. We do have 2 cards in exile now, so Ulamog's Nullifier is something we need to be keeping in the back of our minds at all times. And we'll drop him to 12. We'll play a land, and we'll end the turn. He probably has a creature bigger than we can make this, I would guess. But we have Tandem Tactics, which admittedly he can counter, but we can just play around that right now. I mean, he can... Ooh, that's not bad at all. He may have Turn Against, which would be really bad right now. He could take this. Oh, no, he couldn't. Doesn't have flying. Okay, so we're in a pretty good position to still swing with both, even if he has Turn Against here. So, yeah, we're just going to go for it. See what he does here. Ulamog's Nullifier getting flashed in doesn't concern me a whole lot. In fact, I'm kind of happy to see it. We can use Tandem Tactics to get another blowout, which is what we want to be doing with our Tandem Tactics. So, yeah. So he can block multiple different ways, but either way he does it. I guess if he blocks there, we'd be kind of sad now, but he's doing that again. So... we'll be able to do enough to kill both of them, and he won't kill our guy once again. So, yay for combat tricks like Tandem Tactics. And we'll do it there too, just like we did last time. All right, our opponent's scooped. Well, our deck's life gain synergies, small as they may be, definitely came up there. Our Silent Skimmer and Bloodbond Vampire definitely led the way in both games. And Tandem Tactics was definitely an all-star as well, allowing us to get 2-for-1s twice. So thanks for watching. That was round 1. Hopefully we can keep doing as well as we did in this round.